walking by the Sea of Galilee, beginning his ministry. And the first recruits, the first disciples were fishing. That was their craft. That was their occupation. That was their livelihood. And as Jesus was walking by the Sea of Galilee, recruiting those disciples, he took their occupation, he took their means of livelihood and turned it into an analogy, a beautiful metaphor for what he wanted them to be able to do with their lives for the purpose of the gospel, to become fishers of people. I thought about that analogy and metaphor. What does it mean to fish for people, to take the gospel and to use it as a means of fishing for people? And at first, it did not settle well with me the more I thought through that analogy. There was something I was uncomfortable with. Now I understand we don't literally understand it that way. We're not casting nets and throwing lines and snaring people like that and trying to trick people into becoming part of the church or becoming part of the gospel. Of course, we're not doing that. But there was still something, this ideal of being captured, that did not settle well with me, because the reason why I'm a part of this expression of faith, the gospel ministry, it's not because I've been snared or tangled up in a web or captured like that, or I feel that I do this out of a sense of obligation. No, it's something more endearing inside of me. It's something more moving inside of me. And so I thought, what if we gave ourselves permission to redefine, to reframe the ideal of what Jesus was conveying to those first disciples? What if we took that word capture and we nuanced it? What if we turned that word into captivated? Well, that changes everything for me. To say that I'm captured by the gospel might have some negative connotations that I'm not comfortable with. But to say that I'm captivated by the gospel, I think that's saying something else for me that doesn't dismiss what Jesus did back then, but it helps me understand it in my life in a better, deeper, more intimate way. To be captivated by the gospel. I believe every beautiful and meaningful work that we're engaged in, that is God's reign unfolding here on earth as it is in heaven. If you're composing music, that's gospel work. If it's religious in nature or not religious in nature. If it brings beauty into this world, that's the gospel. If you're patiently listening to somebody who needs a supportive ear, that's gospel ministry. Even if you don't ever mention the name Jesus or anything spiritual, if you just have this sacred, holy, listening response to somebody, that's gospel ministry. If you're teaching stress reduction, breathing meditations, that's gospel ministry. If you're painting paintings, that's gospel ministry. If you're tenderly responding to your son, to your daughter, to your grandchild, to your neighbor, to the stranger that you meet, that's gospel ministry. The beauty of your actions, the meaningful sharing of your lives with another person, that's gospel ministry. That's gospel ministry. So in that way, in that sense, not only am I engaged in gospel ministry, what might be obvious to some people, but you're engaged in gospel ministry too. With words, with talent, with experiences that come from your context of life. That's captivating. The peace that passes all understanding. When you have that kind of purpose in life, I think then you're captivating to other people. Other people say, there's something about your life that has a sense of purpose, that brings encouragement to me, that gives me a sense of hope. When we're able to live lives in that way, in moments like that, you're engaged in gospel ministry.